But kind of like telling me I have to be aware of people's I can't assume people's pronouns. I can't. This looks like a she. I'm gonna call it she. And in my head, I'm like,
all that.
Yeah. I was respectful because it was my friend, but like at the end of the day, I was like, this ain't real. Like, what are you talking about? Like, this is perfect. What's good, y'all? It's your man DJ Playboy back with another episode of the Perfect Talk podcast, and I'm in the building with my dog, my guy, Spec. What's going on, dude?
Yes, sir. I'm back. How you doing? I'm
good, man. You know what I'm saying? Still doing the dry January, you know what I'm saying? Like we always do, and just holding it down, man.
More like cold January.
You're right about that, man. But I got to remind everybody out there, if you're checking us out on the YouTube, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hop in the comments, you know what I mean?
For
and
sure.
like I told y'all last year, we're gonna start showcasing some comments we got. So, you know what I mean? You could be like this person right here. Let me pull it up real quick.
Let us know what you think, people. It's important.
You could be like Annie Lindsay 1039 that said, you guys are full of
Wow.
You know, it's coming out hot. You know what I'm saying? Let us know whatever your opinions are, whether you like us, whether you hate us. You know what I'm saying? Hop in the comments. Let us know what you think. And make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn them notifications on. And like we do right around this time all the time, we're going to get right to Plicker Spotlight Story. We take a big story, it might be a little story, but we're going to shine a light on it here at Perfect Talk Podcast. And this week, you could not get away from it, man. It was the inauguration. It went down in Washington, bro. They took it from outdoors to indoor because it was cold. And it made for a really awkward situation when your man Trump got up there on the mic because he's dissing them right to their face. Right to their face. Like, yo, they messed up. And this is how it's going to go. But there was a lot of things that went down. We're going to get to some of it. But that was the one that stuck out to me. You know what I'm saying? It was Obama getting booed on his walk in. Not necessarily in the building.
Oh, did he? I didn't even peep
I don't think he got booed in the building.
Okay.
I think he got booed at the Capital One arena where most of the audience were watching, and okay. I think they were broadcasting live from like NS or MSNBC.
Okay,
and they picked up the people in the arena booing him. But
did he speak?
Nah, but
they just showed his picture. Oh, okay.
They all presidents walked. The past 5 presidents that are alive all walked out separately. It was weird though. I think it was awkward, definitely, because you got to see the facial reactions every time Trump said a line of like Hillary or Bill or Obama or Kamala, and it's like. It's because I don't think that's how it goes in those inaugurations. It's outdoors, but they're not sitting behind you.
Right.
If anything, I think the whole crowd is in front of you, right? And then you just have.
Well, no. Typically, there are people.
But it's not all the former presidents behind you.
It's whoever
you decide to have on the stage, right? Yeah. So probably all the people that were on the left side, his family, their Elon Musk. All the tech billionaires that were on the left side, they probably would have all been behind him.
Right.
But instead, you got this like imagery of Joe Biden having to keep a still face, or Kamala having to pretend like she don't hear nothing. I think Bill and Hillary laughed when he said the Gulf of America, changing the name. Obama had the best seats because you couldn't see him. You can see none of his reaction. He had the best seat, to be honest with you. And that's probably just because Michelle didn't come. You know what I mean?
She did. She's like, F that.
Yeah. I respect that. Because she's the lady that said when they go low, we go high,
right.
Which I don't think is helping you in modern day politics. Like, right. It's a new language of politics. You can't.
Trump has he's shown that like they go low, we gonna go lower.
She's like, I'm gonna sit it out. You know what I mean? It's I heard Mike Pence's wife at the Carter funeral, like she didn't want to shake his hand, acknowledge him. So you know what I mean? Which I get. Keep that same energy.
Yeah, I mean he's definitely disrespectful towards women. So.
Yeah, 1,000%. They said some wild things, but now it's made for some good times. Let's check out some videos from it. I think. People were making like an uproar about like he kissed Melania, but he kind of didn't. See, like if you look, he kind of air kisses her. It's because of the hat.
It's because of the hat. Yeah.
Which I get it. You don't want to awkward up the whole moment. You know what I mean? That I get though. She probably wore that hat on purpose just because of that. Then I think too when they swore him in. The judge, the Supreme Court judge, I forgot his name. He didn't wait for the family to get there, like he did with J.D. Vance.
Mm-hmm.
So he starts swearing him in, and she's not even there with the Bible yet. So they said Trump never put his hand on the Bible. That was a weird situation. I think something that people were clowning on too was your man Zuckerberg staring at Jeff Bezos' wife.
Ooh. No.
I hate to be the dude behind him, because in all the pictures you look like you look like he's trying to look too. Zuckerberg a wild dude, because they're not even talking to him.
They're not. He's all up in the conversation.
And he's like, all right, let me see what I can see while I'm here. And his wife is on the other. I don't know if you can see it. His wife is on the other side.
I see it. That's hilarious.
But yeah, they call Zuckerberg sneaking a peek on Jeff Bezos' wife. You know what I mean? I think her outfit was controversial because she's rocking like a bustier under a blazer.
Zuckerberg's like, I gotta get my opinion. Let me see what this looking like. They're gonna ask me. I need to be able to answer the question.
You gotta know them cameras is on you too, Zuck. You wildin', bro. My man is like, that's why I made Facebook. I'm living it up close and personal. You know what I mean? How you feel about the tech millionaires being there, just in front row?
You know, I mean, it is what it is. You know, they gotta kiss the ring.
That's what they say.
At the end of the day, because I mean, a few years ago they weren't rocking with him, none of them. But now they rocking with him. So
I think that's more so of it. Yeah.
But I don't know that they have a choice, because if they choose not to, he'll just make their lives a living hell.
Exactly.
So.
And I don't think they necessarily align with the other side's beliefs, and they're all freedom of speech, which is, you know, big in his thing. I think too, on Trump's part, I heard, and I didn't come up with this theory, I heard someone say it on the podcast, but that it's like a show of force, kind of like these is the most powerful men in terms of wealth in America, all here to see me. Or here to bow down, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, you gotta respect that.
He's big on that though, like show of force.
Yeah,
like the imagery of it all.
Yeah, I think that was not by mistake. That was definitely very intentional. So and Trump, that's his thing. He's a branding guy. So you know what I mean? He wants the brand to come across, man. What else made news with the inauguration? The preacher, you seen him? That he was like,
the black guy,
the Martin Luther King preacher. Oh, where's my guy at, man?
Land of the pilgrim's pride from every mountainside. Let freedom ring, and because America is called to be a great nation, we believe that you will make this come true. So let freedom ring. From the prodigious hilltops of New Hampshire, let freedom ring. From the mighty mountains of New York, let freedom ring. From the heightening Alleghenies of Pennsylvania, let freedom ring. From the snow-capped Rockies of Colorado, let freedom ring. From the curvaceous hilltops of California, but God, we're asking you not only that, let freedom ring from Stone Mountain, Georgia. Let freedom ring from Lookout Mountain of Tennessee. Let freedom ring from every hill and every molehill in Mississippi, from every state, every city, every village, and every hamlet. And when we let freedom ring, we will be able to speed up that day where all of your children, black men and white men, Protestant and Catholic, Jew and Gentile, will be able to sing in the
He gotta be like a theater major or something like that, bro.
It's a little too much.
My man went hard in the face.
Thank you, God Almighty. We are free at last.
You know, this was a prayer. Like, it wasn't even a speech. This was like a prayer, bro. Like, my man was going hard in the paint. But I think I gotta show you this video because that news station caught it like head on, right? But this joint caught the reactions of the people watching him.
Let freedom ring from Lookout Mountain of Tennessee. Let freedom ring from every hill and every molehill in Mississippi.
J.D. Vance really praying. This nigga cracking up in the back. That's the dude from Apple. He cracking up.
Look at the dude next to him.
He's dying. And Donald Trump want to laugh, but he know the camera's on him. Elon Musk can't look straight at him. Yo, my man, why would you hire a Martin Luther King impersonator on MLK Day, bro? Like, that is wild, bro. These niggas did not care, bro. What else happened at the inauguration? It was. Oh, you know what I see with homeboy? Matter of fact, His name is Lorenzo Sewell, Reverend Lorenzo Sewell. He launched his own crypto coin after that speech went viral.
Okay.
You saw what's going on here. The old pump and dump, bro. I was like, what is going? This was a clown show, and I guess to end it all off, man, we got to show the wild clown move right here from your man Elon.
Matters. And I just want to say thank you for making it happen. Thank you.
What the hell was that?
My heart goes out to you.
Nah, because I haven't seen this.
You never seen it? Or have you seen it?
No, I haven't seen this. So
What do you think he's doing?
Well, I know what he's doing, but I thought it was like maybe a mistake. Maybe he was just, but now it looked very intentional. Like, he knows what the hell he's doing.
The Nazi joint. That's what you take that as, right?
That's what that is.
What it looked like.
Did he say something else?
He said it's a Roman. I don't know if he said it. He went with the whole. He went with the response on Twitter was, I think, something to the effect of saying everyone's a Nazi or Hitler is getting played out. That's the old playbook.
So what was that then?
He said it was a Roman. The people that are defending him are saying it's a Roman salute, saying my heart goes out to you. My man did it twice. He turned around so the people in the back.
So Romans do that?
To some effect.
That where Hitler got it from?
And I just want to say thank you.
It's a wild decision to make.
Thank you.
Nah, son. That's just crazy. That's not even a mistake.
Well, comedians were coming out. I don't know if it's true. Comedians are like he's autistic, right? Which I think I've heard.
Maybe.
I've heard some, but if you look at it, it looks like an awkward. No. Look at it. It looks like if you put like someone in an awkward situation and they don't know how to act in social situations.
Right.
Like he just does the first thing that comes to his mind. But it's also like you're a genius. So it makes me hard to want to give you that like.
Let him be autistic, but I know he can move his hands properly. That's Hitler. Like nigga, he just
day one, bro. My man came out with this joint like. I think he says my heart goes out to you. Hold on, I want to hear it one more time.
Maybe I'm taking my heart out and giving it to you.
I think so.
Thank you.
No, I don't know, man.
But then it also seems like, like a convenient. My heart goes out to you.
It was thanks to you that the future of civilization is assured.
That's crazy. It's gonna be an interesting 4 years. That's all I gotta say.
Day one, my man. What do you think about Elon and Trump? Like their whole connection? Because they ran Vivek Ramaswamy out of that Doge program that they had. It was supposed to be headed by Elon and Vivek. And right the day before I think the day of the inauguration, they said that Vivek is out. But I it doesn't surprise me because when you say two people are going to head up a division, but you don't give them positions, they say like this is the COO and this is it's like then who's really running the show?
Right.
It's like having two quarterbacks. You got two quarterbacks. You got no quarterback basically. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, I didn't know how that was going to work. They also say Vivek. Maybe you could explain this to me. Vivek was texting some wild stuff about the H-1B1 visas.
Okay, no, I didn't hear about that.
Okay, yeah. Something to the effect. Now I don't know exactly what the controversy, but I guess the H-1B1 visas were like splitting up the Republican Party in terms of people's opinion. But what got Vivek in trouble was he started saying something like, the reason you guys are against those are because we want and I'm paraphrasing here, but basically like a culture of mediocrity in this country, as opposed to wanting the best doctor, the best surgeons or something like that. Yeah. But it came across anti-patriotic, as in like we're a culture of mediocrity, and this is showing how we're just furthering that along to the effect. And they said that was the turning point for Vivek. Like he was like, yeah, go run in Ohio for something.
Yeah, because I know they were, in the Trump's last administration, he was talking about the people we do give visas to that we let in the country, they should only be the best of the best. Yeah. And so, hey.
Yeah, but Vivek found himself on the wrong side of that one, man. Trump in his speech also said that we're going back to two genders. Going back, this country's going back to that. Which I don't like the way it's being delivered. It seems a little callous, and my heart always goes out to disenfranchised people if you don't feel like you're represented.
I like how it's being delivered because it's like he's showing y'all, and he's talking truth. He's showing y'all who he is, what he believes in, and yet trans people, Bruce, wasn't Bruce praising Trump and all of this shit?
Caitlyn. But yeah.
Oh yeah, Caitlyn.
But yeah.
And he don't even like people like you.
But I don't think Caitlyn likes people like her. I don't think.
Okay,
yeah,
that's kind of weird.
That is a little, but some of the comments that I've heard, like you would think Caitlyn Jenner would be on the side of trans athletes, right. She's not.
Just transgender people, and whether you're an athlete or not, it's just kind of like, how do you vote for somebody or support somebody who clearly doesn't have the same support for you? That's just beyond my. I can't. It's hard for me to conceive of that, but whatever. I mean, hey, we're going back to two genders. Get in where you fit in.
The only reason I'm happy about it, because I do agree with Trump. I don't like the way it's delivered, because it comes across callous, comes across like fuck you and your feelings. Like we're not here for that. This is how we were growing up, and this is how we like it to be. But it's a sense of normalcy. It's common sense. It's like, if you tell, like, I remember I was having a conversation with a friend of mine who is in the LGBTQ community, and they were like, kind of like, I don't want to say checking me, but kind of like telling me I have to be aware of I can't assume people's pronouns. This looks like a she, I'm gonna call it she. And in my head, I'm like,
fuck all that.
Yeah. I was respectful because it was my friend, but like, at the end of the day, I was like, this shit ain't real. Like, what are you talking about? Like, this. Remember Jamie Foxx told LL Cool J that when they were on the set of Any Given Sunday? He's like, this ain't real. Like, you out here practicing. Like, that's how I felt about it. I'm like, I sound crazy when I call someone a they.
Right.
You know what I mean? You ever heard someone, I think Demi Lovato identifies as a they, and I've heard someone talking about it, like, Demi Lovato went to the store, and once they got there, they were robbed by a group of people, and I'm like, oh, all right, she was with a group. No, she was by herself. But they were around because she's a they, and it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's unnecessary. Right. I sound crazy talking like that, and it's just like, I needed to be back to the two genders. I don't know how that's going to change how people feel or what people want to do in terms of stuff like that. But I'm also not. I don't want kids getting what's it called? Surgery? What's the
gender affirming
surgery? Yeah, or even medicines or things of that. The DEI thing as well, like. Yes, I get that DEI, if done properly, could be a great thing, but I never believed it. Like, it came out around the time of George Floyd, where all these companies started doing a lot of DEI initiatives. So it's like, a black dude got choked out by a cop. How is Walmart selling black products helping that? It's performative. Mm-hmm. It's not going to stop black people from dying in the streets, you know what I'm saying, from the hands of cops. Like, do stuff in that area. But Target wanting to do stuff and all these companies want to do stuff. I always knew it was performative. So it didn't surprise me this week that all of these companies, from McDonald's to Walmart to Target, have all pulled back on their DEI efforts, because to me it was like, it was stupid. It wasn't
natural.
Yeah.
Like, no, so on a personal level, I wouldn't call any of these things stupid per se. If you as a company, decide that, out of the grace of your heart, you want to do these initiatives, and then do it, genuinely, right? Like, they were forced to, essentially, which is why they did it.
But
they were forced because of the administration that was in during that time, and
what would have happened if they didn't do those? Like, I feel like it would have been public backlash.
That's all, but that matters. When you talk about companies and retail, public opinion is everything, and so them thinking, and the same thing whether we're talking about Meta, Instagram, all of those, when they started implementing all those fact check things, that was all because of the Biden administration that came in and said, y'all can't just be letting all of this, during the COVID,
like
fake news and misinformation, like it was pressured, so they were forced to do all of those things. And so, it's one of those things. It's hard to, I get it. At the same time, I'm not with forcing people to do things that they don't want to do either. Mm-hmm. So, it's just one of those things.
I guess my
I'll never shit on DEI work, because at the end of the day, DEI, when we're talking about employment and all those things, is going to give people an opportunity who may not have ever had an opportunity before. And no, I do think those things are important. Mm-hmm. For the progression of our society as a whole. And, our society is not a monolith, right? We all look different, all of those things. And I do believe in my heart of hearts, everybody should have, everything's never going to be equal across the board. But I do think, everybody should be given an opportunity of some sort, to the extent that they want it.
No,
no handouts per se.
But if it's perceived as a handout from the other side, are you always going to be like, well, Gary's in that position? You might be the most qualified on paper, right? Gary's in that position because of DEI.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't care.
But if DEI is gone and you're still in that position, now what are you going to say?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, because you know what I mean? It's not like you got to work less. The perception of that they're trying to push is that you got to do less work. You got to be less skilled, less talented as they are to get to that position.
Right.
And you got there because of the color of your skin. Well, I don't agree with that. I think you had to work maybe harder to even get the attention. So get rid of the DEI, right? But it's sad because it's not done right, but I feel like most of it is performative anyway, so that's why I'm like, get rid of it. And then it's just like, now what you gonna say when Gary gets to that position? Now what you gonna say when Spec reaches the top? You know what I mean? It's like they can't tell you nothing because it's like you don't have the handout that they perceive it to be. They'll find something else.
Right.
They'll say, oh, you got it because you're a man or something else. But it's like, now you're just giving them less shit to run with. And I guess what's better, people having more opportunities or shutting up bigots or shutting up people that want to disparage what we're doing in some way, shape, or form. I guess it's really where your opinion lies, what side of the coin you on. But I think DEI could, if done right, definitely could have been great. But I don't think most of these people are doing things right. And they at the first chance to get rid of it, they got it out the door. But just some comments that people were making online from the inauguration was so much respect for Michelle Obama for not giving a shit and staying at home. She's an icon. I'm not trying to start any arguments or debates in any group chat on here or anything like that, but I'm going to say this and that only. Watching him give this inaugural address, I truly cannot believe people fell for this fucking garbage again. OMG, President Trump, that was amazing inaugural address. It felt like a pre-State of the Union address. Let me see. Someone said, so he's going to allow free speech again, but he's declaring there's only two genders. Makes sense. I feel like she's trying to be sarcastic there. Am I the only one who cannot believe a man who tried to overturn the last election and who is a convicted felon is being sworn in today? Day one, he was rolling with the executive orders and the pardons.
I think what people appreciate much about Trump is just when you listen to him, you feel a sense of he's being honest. He's talking, versus you listen to any other politician and you may come on, this dude is full of shit.
Yeah.
Whereas Trump, like, he seems genuine. And at the end of the day, in my opinion, people will always appreciate genuine. Well, genuineness is not a word, but on a personal level, I can appreciate, even if I don't agree with anything you're saying, if I perceive you as being genuine, I know where you stand. Yeah. And I can rock with somebody like that who I won't have a vote for Trump, but I can appreciate who he is in terms of living his truth, and not holding back and being who he is and not being a politician per se.
I think he's full of shit, but I just think all politicians are full of shit. But what I respect about him, if that's the word I would use, what I respect about him is he's not afraid to make the moment awkward. Right, like I don't know if you saw the footage of him with Karen Bass.
I've seen it.
Yeah, everybody's seen it by now. But most politicians wouldn't do that. They would just be polite at the table.
And he definitely doesn't do that when it's a man.
Oh no.
So that just goes further to show, like, women and y'all like this dude.
But he would do it to a man.
Not to their face. He doesn't do it.
He doesn't. But I think in the right, like, I think if that's in that situation, someone trying to like bullshit right in front of him. I don't know.
He may, but why haven't we seen it? Like, when it's a man, he'll smile in their face. He'll do all the political. You know how they act, like like with friends and all of that stuff. But this was a woman, and he just basically, bunguarded her like, nah, you don't know what you're doing. They should be able to do this X and Z.
No, you're right. Yeah, no, he's undefeated against women, so. that's what he looks at them as weak, though. That's his base right there. Now, he knows the moment. And what I say about Trump, though, he does bullshit, but to the same effect, he's gonna say the things that other people aren't gonna say, and that's
Democrats need somebody like that. Need to elect somebody that come up there, no holds bars. You know, you got to fight fire with fire. Y'all got somebody in office who ain't afraid to talk his shit. We also need somebody like that.
Yeah.
I feel like we too caught up in having this persona of not perfection, but like we're all flawed individuals, period. And you should never walk around acting like you're not flawed or trying to be perfect or trying to be politically correct. That's the thing. Trump don't care about being politically correct. I'm gonna say what needs to be said. Fuck how y'all feel about it.
Yeah, that's what
I like that. Like at the end of the day,
that's what people respect. It's like I'm gonna tell Netanyahu, yo, get this together.
And you smell like shit.
Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying. I'm gonna walk in there. I'm gonna tell Russia. I'm gonna tell Ukraine, yo, figure this out. But we ain't got time for all it. You know what I mean?
Because if I have to figure it out, I'm with both of your ass. Like that's
but people respect. I don't, and nothing against Kamala. I think she's very qualified in terms of a resume. I don't know. She's just walking in and big dicking people like that. And
right?
They're like, oh shit.
And
put Tik Tok back on.
And people like that, man. I can't even. You know, when I see it and watch him doing that, I'm like, hey, I want a leader who take control like that.
Politics need that, yeah. And I think that's what has to change. It's even someone I heard talking about this on the podcast, right? So what do we hear during the election? Neck and neck. It's tight in every market. All these polls are coming out. Well, Kamala's even up a little bit in certain places, right? Internally, Kamala's camp admitted they were never up in their internal polling that they did. Well, why not come out and say it? You did mad interviews during that time, right? Why not come out and say it? You hit the nail on the head just now. It's a perception of perfection. Mm-hmm. I can't say that I'm, but Trump would. Trump would have, like, he's like, oh, if I'm behind, I'm gonna tell my base to go out there. You're not bringing up that the polls on the news are saying you're ahead, but your internal polls saying that you're down. You need people to come out.
Right.
That's misinformation. That's making if it's 5 of us in the room. 3 of us might be like, oh, she got it? All right. You know, I can stay home that day. All right, why am I going to go stand on the lines? You need to invigorate people to want to go out and energize them to want to go vote for you. Admit a fault. Admit, like, yo, we're not up. I don't know what numbers they seeing. Maybe that's what their numbers are coming. I'm coming back as we need people out there. Make sure you show up to the poll. But they didn't push that. It was almost like prevent defense. Don't drop the ball. Mm-hmm. Just don't foul. Don't call a timeout if we're not.
I don't like prevent defense.
Yeah,
like because prevent defense is like it's not what
open the clock.
And what people like to do is teams in the sports. You know, they get the lead and then they go to prevent defense. Mm-hmm. And now the things that you were doing that got you that lead, you're not doing, and all of a sudden now you're behind. Mm-hmm.
They're creeping up really close, and now it's got to be nervous at the end. You know what I mean? And I think that we got to get away from this perception of perfection. I'm gonna steal that term that you use in politics. Be who you are. Don't like AOC, right? And nothing against AOC. I'm not AOC bashing, but like she took the pronouns out of her bio. Why would they end it to begin with? Like this, the day after Trump does his speech, you take the pronouns out. Did you even care about that? Like, why are we even doing it? Like, don't pretend that you care about some shit we don't really care about. Because I don't care about your pronouns. I don't think you do. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, what are you doing? Who are you doing? The 5% of people who...
That's interesting. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. But yeah, I mean...
But then the second it's gone, you took that away real. So it wasn't even real. So
no fronting.
Like,
no fronting.
I would respect you more. Keep it a buck. You know what I'm saying? If you really feel like you feel, you know what I'm saying? Or it would have... I'm not Obama bashing. A lot of people are this week. Bashing a lot of other people as well, but I would have respected him not showing up. Trump didn't show up to Biden's inauguration. Trump didn't do a peaceful transfer of power. So it's like, I get it. You don't want to upend democracy. Are you going to do to come to the White House or do the photo op? You ain't got to sit there and be embarrassed like that. Like that's corny. You know what I'm saying? And I get why they did it because we're the bigger man here. You know what I'm saying? We're the bigger person. Like, nah, you look clowned out. And it's like, and he did that on purpose. He knows optics. He understands it, bro. What it do, y'all? It's your man DJ Playboy. Just interrupting real quick, man. I really appreciate you watching this episode of the Perfect Talk Podcast. But if you're watching on YouTube, please hit that subscribe button. You got to run them numbers up so I can keep running it up. Also, if you're listening to the audio version on the podcast, make sure you leave a review. Let them know how much you love the podcast and, subscribe to the thing. And if you really, really want to support the team, go to www.perfecttalkpodcast.com. Get yourself a t-shirt, get yourself a sticker. You can even get yourself a mug, man. The possibilities are endless and the prices are low. Holla at us, baby. Let's get it. What's back? Right now, we're going to move on to another segment that we got here at the Perfect Talk Podcast, and that's called Since We Spoke. When we haven't chopped it up in a minute, we like to catch up on some news, man. And we just talking about Obama getting backlash and the Dems for sitting there, but a lot of other people was catching backlash. People that we know and love. Snoop Dogg, Nelly, Soulja Boy, Rick Ross.
They were all at the Trump.
They all performed at different events that weekend.
Oh, okay.
Of the Trump inauguration. Okay. Even Carrie Underwood, who performed at the inauguration, was catching backlash. And I'm like, white America don't love her? Y'all mad at Carrie?
That's one I was surprised about.
She do the Sunday Night Football. Right. If the dude from, remember Monday Night Football had a theme song? And that dude ended up being racist. MAGA brought him in. They're like, come on down, bro. They giving Carrie backlash. And obviously it's not the MAGA people giving her backlash. It's anti-Trump people. But it's like, she's a singer that got invited to sing at a historical moment. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, we just seen Elon and the preacher talk at that thing, right? They both stood at a podium that said, the President of the United States. So there's a visual forever locked in our mind of you standing behind the emblem that says the President of the United States. That alone is reason for some people to show up. Like, now that preacher looks at himself and like, I can envision myself as a president. Elon sees himself, maybe one day I could be the president. Why would Carrie Underwood not want to be part of that moment? I don't even get where that backlash came from. I kind of could understand where Snoop, Nelly, Soulja Boy, Rick Ross is coming from, because we're like, yo, you're supposed to be hip hop. That ain't MAGA. You know what I'm saying? But I personally don't have any ill will towards them. Get that bag.
Rappers support. I mean, it's not a foreign thought that, entertainment artists support the Republican Party in general.
Yeah.
And so I think people just lose sight of that. I've heard many, having nothing to do with Trump, I've heard many, rappers talk that like before, that I vote Republican for obvious reasons. They're thinking about their pockets.
Yeah.
And so there's nothing foreign about that. So, I mean, I don't know that there's anything for people to be up in arms about.
Michael Jordan, Republicans buy sneakers too, right?
You've had artists voting Republican for the longest time. And so now that it's Trump, it's a problem. It shouldn't be. I mean,
why is it a problem if Snoop wants to perform at a Trump event, but it's not a problem if Fat Joe wants to promote Kamala? Like, I don't get the correlation. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
well, Kamala's a Democrat.
Yeah.
So
but
it's still okay.
It's still an artist, right? Where you're cool, you're street, you're independent. You shouldn't be getting that on any side, right? If we're gonna
we're just looking at.
If I'm gonna allow Fat Joe, I don't mind Fat Joe doing it for Kamala.
Right.
Like, if that's what you believe in. Tony Hinchcliffe said something about Puerto Ricans 2 weeks earlier at the Garden, so now you want to rock with go ahead. I'm not gonna disparage Fat Joe for that, but don't give Snoop any flack either.
Well, they're gonna give him slack because it's Trump.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all that has to do with.
In Snoop's particular situation, I think it's because of a video that came out 8 years ago, and I'm gonna play it for you real quick. Let's see, my guy Snoop, and it hurts to do this to Snoop. You know what I mean? But this is why I think a lot of people came at him.
So ain't nobody gonna perform for Donald Trump, huh? Which one of you jigaboo ass niggas gonna be the first one to do it? I'm waiting. I'm gonna roast the fuck out one of you Uncle Tom ass niggas for doing it. Which one of you niggas gonna do it first? I'll be the one that performs for himself.
And then this was at the crypto ball. That was the weekend of it.
Now, okay. So, but is this a Trump event more than it is? It's obvious. Where's the crypto? Where's that place at? Is that in Washington?
This is in Washington. This is definitely in Washington, D.C. Because the whole thing was he's performing for a bunch of white people. That's why the people were mad in the comments. They're like, you're saying the N-word in front of a room full of white people. It's like, that's what he did his whole career.
Yeah, I mean,
that's retarded. But it was in Washington. It was, so, how do I explain it? So, Kendrick Lamar is performing at the Super Bowl, but I'm sure YG is performing at a party in New Orleans that weekend. It's a Super Bowl event. Everyone's there for that event. So Snoop is there for the inauguration. There's no other reason he'd be in DC. So by association, this is an inaugural event, pre-inauguration event. Yeah. I don't know if his check came from Donald Trump.
Right.
I don't know if it is, but regardless of which. Now, Nelly, I think, actually performed at a ball that was involved with the inauguration. And we'll get to Nelly in 1 second. But, like, he was catching a lot of backlash, too. But, like, in the sense of Snoop, it's 8 years later. People change their mind. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't know if Snoop needs a check or wants a check, but it was something that he wanted to be involved in. I was more offended. Why is he DJing for himself? Like, what's going on there? Like, what? I was concerned. Like, as if DJ missed a flight or something like that, or they couldn't get the clearance.
Right.
But I don't knock anybody for working, bro. Like,
yeah, I mean, it's...
Now Nelly and Ashanti was catching a lot of backlash, and one thing I didn't like about them was when Nelly responded. I respect it and don't respect that because I would have just ignored it. And I feel like if you're explaining, you're losing. If you're trying to explain to people why you're making a move, you just do what you're gonna do.
Right.
But what I did like about it was I think Nelly made some great points. He got on live. He was talking to people. He was like, "How y'all getting mad at me? Like I served in, you know what I'm saying? Like I respect the office. I know people in the military. I performed for people in the military. How is this any different?" He's like, "I respect. It don't matter if I voted for the person or so even support them. I still respect the office of the president. And somebody in that position asked me to perform, unless I could hold something like an actual like." This concrete, I gotta, you've offended me when you did this. But if it's just, I don't agree with all your decisions, I'm not gonna let that stop me from performing, which I thought was noble. And then he really he was like, oh, I shouldn't be performing for Donald Trump, right? Because, he's the one that made the crime bill back in the 80s that locked up a lot of black and brown people. He was, oh, my fault. That's not him, my fault. He's like, nah, I shouldn't be performing for Donald Trump because he said, if you don't know who to vote for, then you ain't black, right? That wasn't him either. You know what I'm saying? He's like, so don't come at me with the hypocrisy, because it's like when it works for you, it's cool. I'm when I do what you agree with, but the second you don't agree with it, it's like now it's a problem. And that I respect it because you like point out people's hypocrisy if you see it, like, you know what I mean? And he should where do we get into this like? I guess I know where we got into it, Donald Trump. But I was gonna say, where do we get into this football tribalism of like, oh, you're with the others, you're performing for the Vikings?
It happened in 2016.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, and it sucks because at the end of the day, you know, whether it's Nelly, Snoop, Ross, who and where they decide to perform, that's their business, and we should not even care at the end of the day. The fact that, you know, everybody takes sides now. Oh, if you know, if you're a Republican, I can't. Anybody who's a Democrat is an op. You know, anybody, if we're on opposing sides, the other side is the op. You know, we can't be cool. We can't that's all crazy to me. And it's sad that that's where we're at. And that's where we've been for some time now, sadly.
And that's where I'll give Trump that he didn't necessarily make things better. You know, sometimes people make a move that works out better for them, but might be worse for the bigger picture of people. And I think it definitely worked for Trump. It made him stand out. But now you've put politics in a weird place where people are afraid to communicate with each other. And it's one of those things that I feel like the public perception is like, man, fuck the ops, fuck them, we not rocking with them. And then behind closed doors, y'all all chum. You laughing it up with Chuck Schumer. You know what I'm saying? Like, you guys so why even put this perception out? Because these motherfuckers is really fighting.
Exactly.
in
the streets.
I'm not talking to my family member at Thanksgiving.
When y'all behind closed doors, dapping it up and all of that. Yep, that's how it is.
That sounded good. Like, that's WWE.
It's just like rap beef, like, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, obviously, you know, Biggie and Tupac, I don't think they were cool at one point, but it becomes bigger than the two people involved.
Yeah.
You know, now everybody's taking sides, you know, and so it just...
Or when you've heard rappers talk about, you want to make a fake beef just to get something popping, you're like, that's cool.
They're cool, but now the beef is real beef out in the streets.
And now some niggas might actually be... Little kids take this stuff serious, bro. But yeah, I thought that was corny, man. Like, yes, you caught Snoop in a hypocritical moment. It must have been the edibles. That's all you gotta tell him, Snoop. That's all you gotta tell him, bro. Because we and I like it, Snoop. I haven't really heard Snoop respond. Now, maybe by the time this comes out, he has. But get your bag, man. People gonna forget about it in a week. That's why I was like, Nelly, don't even talk to these people, because you ain't got nothing to worry about, man. Spec, since we spoke, TikTok went and came back. It was a big thing that, TikTok was getting shut down if they didn't sell their company to an American owner. They did not hit that by the deadline. They was hoping the Supreme Court could save them in the final, fourth quarter. It did not happen. And it was coming down to the wire. They actually was like, you know what, we gotta shut things down, man. And it went dark for about, I think, 12 to 16 hours. I didn't have it. I don't lose TikTok. But it was still, I still felt the feeling that people were feeling. Mm-hmm. Maybe that's because it's just like, you took away like a free speech thing that we had. And I know people make money on it. I know people use it as a huge promotional tool. So it was just kind of like weird. People were acting weird on there, acting like they were truly sad. It's weird to me, but I guess if you blew up on TikTok, like one dude was crying, he's like, I got started doing this at a dark time in my life. And y'all became my community. Y'all, you know what I mean? Y'all helped me. I still think it was corny for him to be crying about it, but I get it. You know what I'm saying? Because if you just blew up off of something organically, just doing what you do, I can see why you have a connection to it. Other people were being weird about it. There's a lot of creators. There's like people have been talking about this that were making like confessions because they were like, the site's gone. So I'm gonna be like, yo, I wasn't really doing all these workouts y'all see me doing every day, or like I wasn't cooking all the food that y'all see, and like some of this stuff was. I'm like, why? There's other like, why wouldn't you just
out in yourself?
That shit was a lot, but bro, a lot of people was doing. I heard one dude talking about, he's like, I don't like black people. He's like, I'm coming out. I think he was trying to be funny, but I don't think he was delivered it in a way. Okay. And he probably got a look that looked like he don't like black people. So I think, because just like I heard it, and I was just like, you just gonna come out and just. Just the world ain't ending. It's like you still got to go to work tomorrow, dude. But no, people were very attached to it, and they were very thankful that it came back. Donald Trump tweeted something on True Social. Let's get it back on. Urge the companies not to go dark on TikTok, and it came back. It like I said, for me, it more so hit with the editing software that I use because it's owned by the same company, ByteDance, and that's where I felt it. That's where I was like, damn, this is crazy. Like, what up? But I think it was a good win for Trump, especially considering he didn't like it when at first he was against it, and it was definitely a way to get a W, at least whether it was real or manufactured.
And now all of a sudden he likes it.
Yeah. Well, he claims because of the election, he's like, I did really well with the young crowd. I like it, and but it's an easy win. It's an easy way to get it back. I don't claim, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I don't have any proof to back this up, but I'm pretty sure if China wanted your data, they have it already or have ways to get it.
Of course.
That's not TikTok. So I don't think that us having TikTok on our phones is necessarily doing something that they can't get access to. But I also think it's like a show. We're trying to like, it's performative. You know what I mean? It's like, we have a problem with this. I don't even think they have proof that they're doing anything with our data. But I just think we don't have.
I mean, if I had to guess, I would say sure they are. By what? I have no idea. Yeah. But China's definitely an enemy, and they have great ambitions, and so there's no doubt in my mind that they're plotting, in any way, shape, or form.
That I'm saying. I just don't think it has to. I don't think they're.
Now, are they saying
it's through TikTok?
No. I mean, no. It's just one other way that they may use.
But would I like to see it in American hands? Yeah. I guess if the algorithm's not going to change, because that algorithm seems to be what people are addicted to. Like, how does this thing know what to show me?
And they don't know.
Yeah, no one can figure it out. Yeah. So
I'm sure China knows, but no one here could figure it out.
But if you sell it and then the algorithm's like. Now it's Instagram.
It's trash.
Reels. It's like, all right. It's kind of because Instagram Reels are only really popping because people throw TikToks on there. You know what I'm saying? So, I do like YouTube Shorts though. So make sure you like and subscribe. You don't use TikTok now, and you're like, but could you see if it does stay because of how powerful of a tool it ever being like a marketing tool that you might want to use or something like that?
Anything's possible.
Yeah.
Just social media in general.
Like I don't, but just seeing the effect that it had on people makes me feel like, damn, I might as well just be throwing some stuff up there. You know what I mean? Like whether it does great or not on there is not necessarily what I'm necessarily attached to. But if this is something that people are that attached to, I think for what we do, it would be silly not to be on there. You know what I mean? So I'm a believer now. So we'll definitely keep you informed here on Perfect Talk Podcast of where exactly TikTok will be going, if it will be staying or leaving. Spec, since we spoke, your man DJ Akademiks had to retract some of his statements about LeBron. Let me pull up a video. He was on Kai Cenat's.
Lawyers got to him.
I think so. Just the way. I mean, initially that's what I thought. He's talking to Kai Cenat.
I got one more question.
Yo, what?
Why you said that about my man's Braun?
Yo, Kai, I'm gonna keep it a V with you. I hate when people in the game, feel like I feel like Drake like half told on him. I'm gonna keep it. I don't like when niggas just half doing shit.
No, but look though.
Really,
but that's Braun, bruh. That's Braun, bro. He got a good family. He got a good life. You feel me?
Yo, I'm gonna keep it a V.
He's a good fucking dude, man.
Nah, fuck with Bron. I ain't gonna lie, I kind of feel bad. That's why I was just like, yo. I'm like, yo. I went back online. I was just like, yo. I see so many people mad. I'm like, yo. If y'all want to go with everything I said was cap, I'll go with that. You know what I mean? But I felt like Drake kind of brought something in. I felt like Drake was half telling on him already. There's a couple things that's half told on Bron. I'm like, why y'all?
You a messy. Look, you a messy ass nigga, bruh. You's a messy.
Right.
Yeah. You see, that's one thing. You admit it. Right. But you is a messy ass nigga, man.
Hey, listen, I don't have to do nothing. I do it fully.
Look. LeBron is definitely a loyal individual, my nigga. He has a beautiful family, a beautiful career, and he's him. All right.
Nah, we gotta bring that back together. I agree with you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So imagine you go courtside. Imagine you go courtside. He dunk. He see you in the crowd and just smack the shit out you and get ejected out the game. How that's gonna make you feel? We don't want to see that, gang. You feel me?
Nah. I think you commissioned that fate to Bronny. But listen, we love LeBron, and that's one of our national icons. So we gotta hold down his legacy. We gotta hold down his legacy.
Saying that shit down.
This shit is not real.
Oh my god, this nigga's messy, bro. All right.
But if you don't know, DJ Akademiks, you remember last episode we spoke about the Spec, had went on his stream basically outing LeBron as cheating on his wife and saying you're silly for dancing to Kendrick Lamar songs, showing up at the pop out, dancing to it at your 40th birthday party, knowing that you and Drake have done dirt together.
News flash for LeBron. Yo, LeBron, I talked to enough whores in Canada. I've talked to enough people. Maybe Drake will keep teasing it. Let me just tell you what I've heard. Yo, LeBron, you and Drake used to go on two-mans. Okay? You've been cheating on your goddamn wife. Drake used to facilitate the host. And basically, essentially, you can't dance to a song about him being a pedophile. He used to supply you with the bitches. I'm sorry, my nigga. Yes, if I'm Drake, I snitch on you too. Sorry, buddy. You can't do that. No. You've been living a lie, and everybody been thinking you're this perfect guy, but when you come to Canada, I know some of the whores. When you come to Canada, you know you come to certain places, I'm supplying you with the white women you love. You don't even like black chicks. White women. I'm the guy. So when I bring the tings, and I'm hooking you up, when Kendrick drops a song saying certified lover boy, certified pedo, you're the first one to say, whoa, me and Drake done did some two-mans. He ain't never bring no underage girl. What the fuck is you talking about? Or how about you shut the fuck up and don't dance, don't crip walk, don't do nothing, and how about you go win some championships? I'm sorry. I'm snitching on you. That's why you in trouble, LeBron. You can't dance to a song about me being a pedophile when we went on two-mans. That's why you're getting dissed on these random songs. There's like five tings in Toronto ready to shout your business up now, bro. Like LeBron, nobody told you if you're secretly cheating on your wife, stay out the way. And don't dance at your man who been helping you cheat, calling him a pedophile.
And it was the same week that Drake had dropped the Fighting Irish freestyle, which alluded to ruining your public image back when, we used to run around, Look, if he thinks Drake half did it, then he triple did it. Because, you know what I'm saying? Drake kind of put some stuff out there like, yo, we know some stuff about you people might not like. You just jumped out the window.
He went in.
Like, you
I was doing
hard.
two a man. I know 5 that's ready to come out now.
I know them hoes. Nah, I've heard a theory about it. I've heard a theory that Drake put the battery in his back, right? Because Drake had... It was basically, remember there was the text message where Drake was like, it's as if LeBron's was cheating on his wife, and then Nike put out a campaign about him cheating on his wife as opposed to Reebok or Adidas, alluding to UMG had did that to him during the Kendrick Lamar beef. So he told Ak it was fake. That guy came out, went into it, screen recorded himself going into his messages to show it was real. Which made Ak look stupid. So some people was like, all right, well, he threw him the LeBron thing, kind of like yo, my bad. I'll come out and say this, but this is proof. This like he showed him, right? Because I don't think Ak would say something like that, knowing he could be sued for, you know what I'm saying, defamation, unless he knew there was proof.
Mm-hmm.
And he knows LeBron's not going to sue him if there's proof out there. So why not jump out the window and say this?
Right.
And if LeBron does try to sue, Drake got you with the proof. And LeBron probably won't try to sue, probably try to scare you, but then you just come with the little light apology or the I was joking, it was fake, it was cap, which is corny either way, you know what I'm saying? But that's the only way I can see someone like Ak putting his platform on the line. You don't want to end up like Tasha K and Cardi B. You know what I'm saying? But you're saying this shit definitively. Most people say allegedly 50 times when they saying something just to protect themselves, which I don't think really protects you. But still doing it, trying to protect themselves. You coming out the window like I basically like you seen it.
I was there.
It was a 3-man.
Y'all ain't let me come. Y'all ain't let me hop in.
Trying to tag in. Nah, but you know what I'm saying? So it's just like that's not the type of journalism that we want from Ak. It's like. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Talk about some stuff you heard, but like, one, LeBron ain't in the game that you in. He's a public figure, so his stuff is out there. He's at the whim of our critique and our opinions. But however, don't take down people that ain't necessarily need to be taken down off of the and then let Drake fight his own battle.
Right.
Like now you look crazy. You look like Drake played you
on
basically.
Some whole shit.
Yeah, like you ain't OVO. Like, stop acting like you are, bro. Spec, since we spoke, this one was weird. This one hurt. Cameron and Jim Jones, you know what I mean? Just to follow y'all up from the last time we spoke about them. Jim Jones was on Justin LeBoy's podcast, respectfully, and then he was responding to Cameron and 50 Cent's interview. Said some things to the effect of, they're on my dick. Why they talking about me? It kind of led into, G-Unit can't dress. Cameron was supposed to be the Don, and he wasn't holding down the capo, and you knew responses were coming. 50 responded quick. Cameron came back to his podcast after a brief hiatus and addressed it. Had the fur on, you know what I'm saying, was came out swinging. Basically, Jimmy's not from Harlem. He was a fan. He had the free crib. We went over there, and it you know what I'm saying, it kind of hurt to see. They arguing over who started the pink, and it just got weird because it's like, what is this all for? Supposedly BMF ran Jim Jones down, and he's bringing up the Mano beef, and it's like Mano and Jim Jones is cool now. So why? What are we even doing here? And it's a bigger thing, I think, to show you of just like sometimes you just gotta kind of like let shit go. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I get why Jim Jones wanted to respond in the way that he responded, because you got people in your ear saying, yo, that's supposed to be a man. It feels like he's clowning you in this particular clip. I don't think Cameron was clowning him in the clip. Now, 50 wasn't talking about him in a way that was like,
50 was being 50.
Yeah.
I mean,
but I don't even think 50
and they're not friends.
But I don't think 50 was even trying to insult him.
No, he wasn't on.
Yeah,
he
was like, this was the
he was just
situation.
making a point.
Yeah.
He wasn't.
50, what you did, so we was having interior problems at Dipset. Nobody knew about this. Nobody knew that we was like not on the same page.
Right.
So when me and you were battling during our music thing, you got members of Dipset to come to your show.
Man, Jim Jones right here.
So I'm sitting there like, this is kind of smoke, because I wouldn't have thought about reaching out to Yayo or Lloyd Banks. I'm like, niggas going public with this?
Jimmy was not a rapper. He was your man, like on the side, like on the side, just he was not a rapper at all.
Right.
So when Ballin' took place, and I'm looking and I'm going, oh, he having a moment. I just took the shot, Murder, to see, because I wasn't sure he was going to go for it. But I was like, we like Jimmy better than you anyway, Cam. Then you got to watch to see how he responds. And then when you see, he like, oh shit, he really like that. Get me Jimmy.
This is what happened. I think, and to me, it takes a certain level of like honesty with yourself. And Jim, you knew where you was at that point. I thought that was one of the cornier moves to if you're down with Cameron, you could make a song or appear next to anyone else in the game. You're gonna appear next to the guy that he got beef with. I didn't necessarily think that was the best move on Jim Jones' part, but he felt like he had to do what he had to do for them. They're talking about the situation now, 15 years later. You're responding to it as if it was yesterday. Yeah, it's going to cause some type of shit. Now, Cameron, you also could have been the bigger person. Once you heard Jim Jones' response, you didn't necessarily have to come out scorched earth, because everyone would have moved on. I don't think no one left that Justin LeBoy interview like, yo, he coming at killer. We need to, you know what I mean?
Right.
But I'm going to stop saying this on this podcast. We said it several times. And I think we try to allude sometimes about this younger generation, but I think we have enough evidence showing that it's not age. It's we talk about it under the umbrella of social media a lot. Like if people are talking about you, just turn your phone off, turn the da-da-da off. We're telling Travis Hunter, just turn it off, just not respond, right? My girl's talking to me about her job the other day, and this person has this type of opinion about her. She's like, she's in charge, right? But this person has some type, and I'm like, that's a good thing. If you're the one in charge and they think about you like you a bitch, that means you're not a pushover. Like, you the boss. Like, you should take that almost as a compliment. And she's like, but I'm not mean. I'm not this and that. And I'm like, and I'm trying to tell her the whole time. We talking for like 20 minutes, right? Like, I'm like, yeah, you can't be worried about what these people think about you. Can't be worried. And then in that same conversation, she tells me that somebody that I don't care about said about me. And I'm not gonna lie, my eyes started twitching. Because I'm like, damn, I just went on for 20 minutes.
Not to care.
Yeah, you gotta let this shit go.
Meanwhile, my eyes twitching.
I wanted to just throw like a little jab in there. just like, that motherfucker. You know what I mean? Like, but so it made me kind of like, you know what? Maybe it's easier said than done. You know what I mean? And maybe for me, I'm like, Cameron, just go back to your very successful show. Do what you and Mace is gonna do. You guys don't gotta hurt a friendship that we all know is a real friendship. You guys may not be seeing eye to eye right now, but we know there's real things behind that. You know, just because you feel like public perception, or you feel like he said something that was kind of disrespectful. But it's not easy, bro. It's not easy to always let shit go and just be like, nah. And I'm sure that all these people that we see responding do that to some extent. But it's like, I got time today. You know what I mean? Right. And it sucks in this situation because you're like, these guys are friends. You know they're friends, man. And what were your thoughts, I guess, when you saw how it was playing out?
I shook my head. I felt the same way. Like, you know, why I got to get to this point. You know, I felt like, you know, when there's a level of maturity that needs to be had in order for these types of things not to, you know, get to where they're at. Like, obviously, you know, it all started from the conversation between 50 and Cam, right? Jim Jones heard it. Obviously, he didn't like what was said. So he felt the need to respond. But obviously, he was also asked the question, I think, you know, and so he answered the question. And then Killer heard that, didn't like what he had, so he hops on his podcast. For me, I just wish, you know, there would have been no response at the end of the day.
Or call each other.
From Cameron's. Or if y'all want to talk, call. Yeah. Like, I hate that these things play out on social media, on the internet, or, you know,
The Breakfast Club.
That piece I hate. Obviously, it provides entertainment for all of us. But at the end of the day, you know, I wish they would just keep all of that behind doors. Have a conversation. 9.9% of the time, all of these issues can be just fixed with a conversation.
Yeah.
That's between two people. Because once you start having conversations in front of the world, you then start to worry about what is the world going to think about what it is that we're discussing and all of that stuff. And then it just adds a layer that doesn't need to be there.
Exactly.
And so,
If we're talking family business, we wouldn't talk about it in front of everyone, right? So
like if I had an issue with you and somebody, you know, while I'm on a platform asks me about it, my answer is going to be pretty simple. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, Playboy, that's my brother, you know, family fights, you know, we don't always have to see eye to eye, but that'll always be my brother. I don't got nothing bad to say about that man. Even if in the moment I don't like you, right? But I know how it can unravel if I'm here talking about our situation on the internet, on the radio. There's nothing that's ever going to be good that's going to come from that. So my reply is going to be simple. You know, brothers fight. You know what I'm saying? We may not be seeing eye to eye. Y'all clearly see that, but I don't got nothing bad to say about that man.
Yeah.
Period.
I don't know if you've seen it. Master P had a situation like that this week. He was on the Breakfast Club, and I guess at some point him and C Murder
talking about his brother. Yeah. And he even was talking about his son in the same light.
But she was asking like a couple years ago, you, C Murder, and Monica weren't all cool. Where is that at now? And he was like, I don't even want to get into that. Like, I don't want to go down that road. He's like, that's my brother. We don't always see how to, basically what you just said, but I will fight to the death for that. Yeah, I will go. Or you could just say no comment. Like, you know,
one of those two things.
Like, yo, that's my brother. That me and him gonna settle that, and then I guess, you know, if we feel like informing y'all,
that is the grown up answer.
We not playing this out in front of y'all because now. And I don't think the media is doing that. I mean, Cameron did it on his own platform, so it's not the media using him in any way, shape, or form. But it's like it's the amount of views and clicks that you'd get from that. It don't equal up to what that could lose in terms of a friendship and real shit like that. Where it could only like you're only doing it. I know what it is. You don't want this person laughing at you or getting one up on you.
But that's where I said the level of maturity, like that, because now it's at a point where I heard yesterday or Friday, Jim, he's finna release a diss track. Like now he's about to put it on wax. And I heard he brought it to the label and the label said, no, we can't put this out like this because it's just too crazy.
Wow.
And so supposedly now he's back in the lab just rewriting a few things, but does plan on dropping a diss album, or diss record, I'm sorry, supposedly. And I heard, I'm like, man...
We don't want that. Like,
I don't want that.
Yeah,
like, you know what I'm saying?
I didn't even like seeing when Cam and Mace were beefing. Like that was to me because you like y'all didn't y'all play basketball together? Like,
right.
Like to me it's like now it's like we in front of all these people and it's got to be
y'all too old for that bullshit. Like at the end of the day.
I'm not saying that no more. I think it's.
No.
Once we added these phones and we added Mark Zuckerberg made Facebook, and now it's like the world is different.
Yeah, when I say y'all too old, I don't necessarily. I would say that to a 25-year-old. You too old. Like a grown person doesn't do this.
Yeah.
Grown people, you got a problem, go talk. Right.
But why the grown part? I think in most aspects of life, yes, but because. We were 21, 22 when Facebook
You can't properly communicate via email. You can't properly communicate via text message. You can't properly communicate through a third person.
But you know that because, for instance, email didn't exist on your life, right? There was a point life before email.
I know that just because I've tried and it just doesn't work.
Yeah. But think about it. If you were a little older when social media came out, you might have a different aspect on it, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you lived most of your life without it existing and now someone's dissing you over, like, social media, in your mind, it might be bigger than it really is. Like, yo, this motherfucker just said this in front of people? Like, ain't nobody looking. Both of y'all got 0 followers, but you just like, this shit is in public. You know what I mean? You ever seen, like, somebody write something on somebody's wall? Like, yo, your auntie hasn't heard from you in a while. Like, this ain't the forum for it. But she don't understand how Facebook and shit work. She writing this shit on my wall. You know what I'm saying? Whereas, so I say something to her online. She think I got like it's the biggest thing on earth, and really no one really sees it. Mm-hmm. But in their heads, it's amplified.
Right.
You put my name on here. You said this about me, and it's like there for people. I can't take it down. I can't delete it. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, oh, I think it hits people differently. And no, trust me, I think
it does. It doesn't change. So how it makes you feel has nothing to do with. It's going to make you feel however it makes you feel. But then the grown up piece of knowing, okay, I feel like this. What is my response going to be, and how is that going to? What's going to be the domino effect of my response? I just personally know, like, every time that that I was upset about something and I tried to communicate in any other fashion other than a direct conversation, it never translates the way I want it to translate. And so I just know that. And so for me, I'm not having those types of conversations anywhere outside of face-to-face, over the phone or something like that.
I wonder if it makes it more complicated, because it's funny you said that, right? But like, I won't talk to my girl if I'm upset in like a direct conversation, because if I write it down, I think it'll be received better, right? So I wonder if like, a lot of these conflicts are like, you're a talk to person, I'm gonna write it down type of person. You know what I'm saying? And like, I'm trying to talk to you in this way, and you like, nah, I can't get it out face to face, or like, you know what I'm saying? And now it's like,
It's both, because if I choose to write things down, I'm gonna get everything out that I initially intended to get out, versus if I don't write it down and I just want to have a conversation, it's more likely that there's going to be pieces that I leave out, that I forget, all of those things.
Tangent, I might get you off subject.
But I still prefer that, because like to have to sit there and do like write my feelings out, like it just I'd rather just let's have an organic conversation, like and let's vibe off of one. Like I feel like it all comes out better that way, even if I don't get everything out. You know, that's just the way
and communication is a big thing. Like this whole thing is all a miscommunication. If they was all in the same room, they would all laughed about it. They all would, if Jim Jones was there for that interview, they would have all got it out, laughed about it. It was 15 years ago, look where we at now. But because you heard it on a clip.
And now there's comments, and now there's niggas clowning me.
In the background. You know, what they say in the comments, and now it's like, so now when I get asked, I'm going to put a little extra sauce on it. And it's like, no, it's funny you say that, like, because now I'm really thinking about it, because it's like, there's times when I'm like, yo, it's a 3-second conversation with my girl, I'm going to get it out. I'm trying to talk to her. She's like, why are you yelling at me? I'm like, I'm yelling? So I'm like, you know what I'm saying? So, like, I think really because we are living in a world where there are people that live pre-internet, walk up to you and talk to you, not necessarily want to fight you, but that's how we going to settle this conflict. And there's people that like, nah, I'm gonna get this out online. I'm gonna write this, I'm gonna at you, I'm gonna send you a DM, you know what I mean? And now it's like, now it's two different worlds colliding, you know what I mean? But I definitely hope the Dipset can resolve this. Not that we necessarily need to see them all running around with each other again, but I think I don't like. First of all, it's been a rough year. It's been a rough year for '90s rappers. You know what I'm saying? It's been a rough decade for '90s rappers, man. So let's have one thing just survive. You know what I'm saying? From the '90s, please, the early 2000s. Let's do it. Spec, before we get up out of here, man, you got ASAP Rocky. You see that his case has started?
Finally.
Yeah. What's going? Why does that happen with court cases where some people? It's like, right, they just did the crime, now they're already in court, and other people is dragging. Like, I
mean, so one, there's always motion practice with attorneys, you know, delaying and all of that. But from my understanding with this, they couldn't agree on jury members. And that just has to do with the celebrity of the whole situation, because of him, because of who his wife is, because they asked jury members questions like, do you know who Rihanna is? And so who doesn't know who Rihanna is? Like, and so because of the celebrity of it all, it makes it hard to find a unbiased jury panel.
I hear that.
And so, you know, all of those things has just been going on forever.
Are you familiar with the case at all?
Not fully, no.
So it basically looks like ASAP Rocky got into an altercation with ASAP Relly. They said that a gun was fired. No one got directly hit, but ASAP Relly supposedly was grazed.
So it was internal. It was with internal members.
Yes, of the ASAP mob. Yes, correct. Now this is like something that I heard was pretty important, but there's no black people on the jury.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, and to me, I was just like, well, I'm sure there's a lot of people that have non-black, like. There's got to be dudes in America that are black.
Maybe all the black people. I know Rihanna. I know ASAP. And we can't choose you.
But she just performed at a Super Bowl.
I mean,
who doesn't know her?
But that's what I'm saying. So.
That'd be hard. But I think the jury pool itself wasn't. I've heard it was like 5%, like in general, and then none of them made it to the final It just so happened that I think there's luck of the draw of the week that they happened to be in court of terms of who was there. But I didn't quite catch the significance of it, and I had to like watch a couple news programs to really understand. But like, I get why it's important that they feel like that was an issue to have. Like, why is no one black on this jury? Not only because of the optics of it and how it is, but they said in a situation, right, where I'll just call him plaintiff and defendant for lack of the wrong terms. The plaintiff is named ASAP Relly, and the defendant is named ASAP Rocky. And we just saw a very high-profile case with the YSL gang. But ASAP isn't a gang. ASAP is a record label, a rap group. They have fashion ties. They're like, it's going to be very hard for this jury who's not culturally... who's not from the same culture as the plaintiff and defendant to understand he's ASAP Relly, he's ASAP Rocky, but don't think of this as a gang. But this is also a gun charge, assault case. So it's like, are they not a gang? They acting like a gang. It sounds like a gang. I know they're not a gang. I know that if you said ASAP Mob, that's not the same thing as YSL. Mm-hmm. It's real, you know what I'm saying? Because they're not trying to be. Right. You know what I mean? So I don't know if Karen from, Santa Clara knows that.
I don't think that matters in this case, though, because it's not like a RICO case and, if they found somebody guilty, it's not the charges aren't going to be the same. So whether or not they perceive this as a gang or not, like I think
they feel like that puts it, even if they like in the case that they do, now there's a negative bias already on them that these are just two gang members fighting.
Right.
So like, if you told me that two gang members got in a fight, and I might be like, yeah, he probably shot him, as opposed to be like, oh, these two accountants got into it, or George Stephanopoulos from ABC News and Brett Baker from CNN got into an altercation. I was like, oh, well, there's two reporters who work at different stations. Maybe but now, you know what I mean? That was an altercation. But now it's like when you put the street element in it, oh yeah, that's going to go to violence real quick. You know what I mean? In their heads, which I feel it could be looked at as a stretch, but I also could see why they feel like that.
But so ASAP Relly or whatever his name, he took Rocky to court. Is that what is that how this started?
I think he went to the police and claimed that he was shot by ASAP Rocky. Yeah.
So he's the one who's like suing and all of that stuff.
I think it's a criminal charge. He's the one who went to press charges. Yeah.
Okay.
And they said it was some type of extortion play. Like maybe he was like, "Yo, I'm going to the police with this unless you pay me some type of da-da-da." And I guess ASAP was like, "Go fuck yourself."
Okay.
And that's how they got themselves in this situation. No weapon has been found. I think ASAP Rocky is claiming that it was a prop gun that wasn't even a real gun that he just uses for protection.
And they never found the weapon.
Never found the weapon. No. And never found shell casings because if it's a prop gun, I don't think it actually shoots.
Okay, so this is just a situation where Rocky's just like, I'm not paying you. You're going to have to take me to court and let the courts.
Yeah. And ASAP Relly was like, well, street code is no snitch, but you don't want to pay, then I guess I got to go snitch. You know what I mean? I think it's also they have video of the altercation as well.
Okay.
You don't directly see someone shooting because of like the angle that it's at, but it's a tricky case. Most people, ASAP Rocky was offered a plea deal. I believe it was 6 months in jail.
Okay.
Turned it down, and now he's looking at a maximum of 24 years. So a lot of people are like, either he really knows something that's going to get him off, because they were like, he wasn't even going to have to probably do the full 6 months.
That's what I'm saying. That would have been light.
Overcrowding and all that type of shit.
Right.
And like, they was like, so he knows something. He's taking it to trial. I mean, he's got $1 billion behind him in terms of, I guess, to fight his legal fees, but it's a tricky situation. We wish him the best. We definitely keep you informed here. And it does, I don't like that though, man, when like the only representation we're getting is like this type of stuff. Like, you know what I mean? Like Rihanna's a billionaire in her own right, but like he's not her husband. He's her baby daddy. Is caught up in some criminal stuff like this. I'm tired of this type of representation, man. I'm just on my soapbox, mad at hip hop, I guess, for getting themselves in trouble. But it's just like, I hate seeing this like this. So hopefully ASAP Rocky found himself out of this and could keep himself out of these type of situations, because it's not doing it. You kind of look like this is beneath you,
right?
To be honest with you. Before we get out of here, I like to do things I've seen on the internet spec. Sometimes I see a video or, a tweet or something like that. And, we just show us some love. So during the whole, TikTok drama that was going down, your man Meek Mill always, hops out the window and comes out there, and he said, sell TikTok to me. Oh, man. I don't think Meek Mill knows how much that shit costs.
A whole lot.
Ain't no way, man. Somebody said, nah, you get dick doc.
Yeah.
Me can't win for nothing, bro.
Internet will never let him live.
Internet's undefeated, bro. Roxy and Deion Sanders, you know they got a TV show. It's called We Got Time Today. I think it's a talk show. Deion, they came out with a clip this week that went viral.
What's that?
There we go. All right.
Can you say that part about you and I again so they understand? Because everybody.
Why don't you say it for the people at home? Say it loud.
Okay, me and where my camera at? Rox and I, we ain't getting it on. All right, it ain't happening.
It won't happen.
Yeah, that's my work boo.
And you gotta say it. All right.
You know what I left that clip saying? Like, shout out Deion if people are still like throwing rumors of him. I would think the age gap is crazy between them that people wouldn't even. But
not when it comes to men and women. I mean, like older men get younger women all day.
Yeah, that's true. I guess
Ain't prime time.
I just can't imagine him. I think of Roxy as being younger than she really is. I think she's a little older than I think. I'm still thinking of her.
She has to be like pushing 40. Like she has to.
Terrence J is almost 40, right?
She has to be like 40, if like close to it.
That wouldn't be that far fetched for them to be messing with each other. But I don't know. It's like I mean, and the young girls is feeling Deion from what I hear.
I mean, that's prime time.
So you know what I mean. Shout out to Deion. But I mean, it's also sad that a male and any time they put that together, that people still like they get junior high school with it. Like, they must be messing around with each other or doing this and that. Now Deion, probably known for being a ladies' man. He's not a married man at his age. The people are still going to throw that out there. But I feel, you know, I guess I feel bad for Roxy that she got to deal with the rumors and then he throws the little joint up there at the end. But Spec, that was another episode in the books. We got to get going up out of here. But where can my people find you at?
Nowhere.
Find your boy DJ Playboy on X at DJ Playboy. Find me on Instagram at Plickapeezy, PLICCAPEEZY. And follow Perfect Talk Podcast on Instagram at Perfect Talk Radio. We do got to get going and running, but my Bills tonight are playing the Chiefs. I'm so tired of the Chiefs, bro. I feel like the Patriots, you know what I mean, back like a couple years ago in the Tom Brady run. I like the Chiefs, but it's boring when you just always winning. And the Bills gave them their only L this year, so hopefully the Bills can bring it. We need a Super Bowl up here in upstate New York.
Let's go.
You know what I mean? Bills Mafia stand up. By the time y'all hear this, the game will be played and the Bills are going to the Super Bowl.
Super Bowl.
Spread love is the Brooklyn way, y'all. Peace.